Welcome. I want you to take a moment right now, just where you are sitting, and take a deep breath. Look at your life. Look at the world around you. There is a very specific feeling that drives almost everything we do. A feeling that every single human being on this planet shares, regardless of their culture, their age, or their wealth. It is a subtle sense of incompleteness. It is a quiet whisper in the back of our minds that says, I am not enough, or this moment is not enough, or if I just get that one next thing, then I will finally be at peace. We spend our entire lives trying to silence that whisper. We chase careers, we chase relationships, we chase money, we chase status, and we even chase spiritual experiences. We treat life like a ladder, believing that happiness is waiting for us on the next rung up. Think about the last time you really wanted something. Maybe it was a new car, a promotion at work, or even just a new phone. Do you remember the intensity of that desire? You felt that if you didn't get it, you would be agitated. But if you did get it, you would be happy. And then you got it. And for a brief moment, maybe a day, maybe a week, maybe just an hour, there was a sense of relief. The agitation was gone. You felt complete. But what happened next? Slowly, inevitably, the shine wore off. The new car just became the car you drive to work. The new phone just became the thing you check emails on. The sense of satisfaction faded, and that old, familiar feeling of incompleteness returned. The hunger came back. And so, you set your eyes on a new target, a new goal, and the cycle started all over again. This cycle is what the ancient sages of India called samsara. It is the endless wandering. It is the condition of looking for something permanent in a world that is fundamentally temporary. We are looking for infinite satisfaction in finite objects, and the math simply doesn't work. You cannot get lasting peace from pieces of the world that are constantly breaking, changing, and disappearing. Most of us live our entire lives on this treadmill, running faster and faster, thinking the horizon is just a few steps away, but never actually arriving. We think the problem is with the world, that if we just rearrange the world perfectly, we would be happy. But what if the problem isn't what we are looking for? What if the problem is where we are looking? This brings us to the subject of this series, Advaita Vedanta. Now, don't let the Sanskrit name intimidate you. Vedant simply means the end of knowledge or the culmination of wisdom. It refers to the teachings found at the end of the ancient Hindu scriptures known as the Vedas. And Advait means not two, non-duality. It is a philosophy, or rather, a system of reality that suggests that the separation you feel between yourself and the rest of the universe is actually an illusion. It suggests that you are not a tiny, isolated ego fighting against a hostile world, but rather, you are the underlying reality of the universe itself. But before we can understand that grand conclusion, we have to start at the beginning. We have to start with you. We have to start with the question that is the doorway to all truth. Who are you? You might answer instantly, I am your name, I am a software engineer, I am a mother, I am an artist. But these are just labels. These are just roles you play. Who is the one playing the role? If you lost your job, you would still exist. If you changed your name, you would still exist. So, those labels cannot be who you fundamentally are. Advaita Vedanta invites us to perform a rigorous investigation into our own experience to find the real I, the logic of the seer and the seen. To do this, we use a very simple but powerful logic called Dridrisha Viveka, which translates to distinguishing between the seer, the subject, and the seen, the object. The rule is simple. The eye can see a cup. Therefore, the eye is different from the cup. The eye is the subject. The cup is the object. The perceiver is different from the perceived. This makes sense, right? You are not the phone you are holding. You are the one holding it. You are not the chair you are sitting on. You are the one sitting on it. Whatever you can perceive, you cannot be that thing because you are the witness of it. Let's apply this logic inward. Look at your own body. You can perceive your hand. You can look at it. You can feel it. If your hand is the object of your perception, then you, the perceiver, must be distinct from the hand. You can extend this to your entire body. You say, my body, in the same way you say, my house, or my car. The possessive implies ownership, but it also implies a distinction. The owner is not the house. The owner is not the car. Similarly, if you observe your body, you are the observer, not the body itself. Furthermore, the body is constantly changing. Think of your body when you were an infant. It was tiny, it looked different, it functioned differently. Then think of your body as a teenager. Then think of your body now. Science tells us that almost every cell in our body is replaced over a period of years. The material that made up you 10 years ago is gone, replaced by new material from the food you've eaten. The infant body is gone. The teenage body is gone. But you are still here. You remember being the child. You remember being the teenager. You are the constant thread running through these changing beats. If you were the body, you would have disappeared when the infant body disappeared. But you didn't. You are the witness of the changes. Therefore, you cannot be the body. Moving deeper, the mind and thoughts. Okay, you might say, I agree, I'm not just the physical shell. I am my mind. I am my personality, my thoughts, my emotions. This feels much closer to home. We feel very identified with our minds. When we feel sad, we say, I am sad. When we think a thought, we believe we are the thinker. But let's apply the same logic of the seer and the seen here. Can you observe your thoughts? Close your eyes for a moment. Watch your mind. You will see thoughts popping up like bubbles. I wonder how long this video is. I need to buy milk. I remember that embarrassing thing I did in 10th grade. You are aware of these thoughts. You can watch them come, stay for a moment, and leave. If you can watch your thoughts, then you are the watcher, and the thoughts are the watched. You are the subject. The thought is the object. Just as you are not the cup you are looking at, you are not the thought you are looking at. Consider your emotions. You might wake up feeling grumpy. 2 hours later, something good happens, and you feel happy. In the evening, you might feel tired or anxious. The emotions are like weather. They change constantly. Clouds come, rain falls, then the sun shines, then a storm rolls in. But you are the sky. The sky provides the space for the weather to happen. But the sky is not wet by the rain or burned by the sun. You are the awareness in which sadness arises, stays, and passes. You are the awareness in which joy arises, stays, and passes. You are the witness of the mind, not the mind itself. If you were your thoughts, what would happen during deep sleep? When you dream, the mind is active. But in deep, dreamless sleep, the mind shuts down. There are no thoughts, no emotions, no ego, no personality. Yet, when you wake up, you say, I slept well. You didn't cease to exist. You were there to witness the absence of everything. This implies that there is a part of you that transcends even the mind. A part of you that is present when you are awake, present when you are dreaming, and present when you are in deep sleep. The false identification, the ego. So, if we are not the body and we are not the mind, why do we feel like we are? Why does it hurt when someone insults us? Why do we fear death so much? Advaita Vedanta explains this through the concept of adhyasa, or superimposition. Imagine a red-hot iron ball. The ball is iron, and the fire is fire. But the iron ball glows red and burns whatever it touches. We say, the iron burns, but actually, iron is cold. It is the fire in the iron that burns. We have superimposed the qualities of the fire onto the iron, and the shape of the iron onto the fire. In the same way, we superimpose the qualities of the body and mind onto our true self, the atman. The self is pure, limitless, and eternal awareness. The body is limited, fragile, and mortal. But because of ignorance, what Vedanta calls avidya, we mix them up. We take the I, which is pure awareness, and we mix it with the body. We say, I am tall, I am hungry, or I am dying. But the I is never hungry. The body is hungry. The I never dies. The body dies. We also mix the I with the mind. We say, I am confused, I am angry, or I am intelligent. But the I is the light that illuminates the confusion or the anger. This mixture of the pure self with the body and mind creates a pseudo-entity called the ego. The ego is the I that feels separate. It is the I that feels small. It is the I that feels threatened. It is the ego that is constantly seeking validation, constantly trying to protect itself, constantly trying to accumulate more to feel secure. Most of our suffering comes from this mistaken identity. We take the limitations of our equipment, the body and mind, and take them to be limitations of ourselves. Imagine you are wearing a pair of sunglasses with blue lenses. Everything looks blue. You might say, the world is blue, but the world isn't blue. The lenses are blue. If the lenses get cracked, you might cry. My vision is cracked. But your vision is fine. The tool is damaged. Similarly, you are the conscious observer viewing the world through the lens of the body and mind. When the body gets sick, you think, I am sick. When the mind gets depressed, you think, I am depressed. Advaita Vedanta is the process of taking off the glasses. It is the process of distinguishing the viewer from the view. The nature of the observer. Let's linger on this observer for a bit longer, because realizing this is the first major step in Vedanta. This observer is often called Sakshi or the witness consciousness. This witness has some very specific qualities. First, it is changeless. Your body has changed from 7 pounds to whatever you weigh now. Your mind has changed from knowing only how to cry to understanding complex languages and concepts. Your personality has shifted, but the sense of I, the feeling of being present, has never changed. The I that looked out of your eyes when you were 5 years old is the exact same I looking out of your eyes right now. It hasn't aged. It hasn't gained weight. It hasn't learned or forgotten anything. It has simply witnessed the movie of your life. Second, it is untouchable. Think of a movie screen. You can project a movie about a ragging fire onto the screen, but the screen doesn't burn. You can project a movie about a flood, but the screen doesn't get wet. You can project a tragedy or a comedy, a romance or a horror movie. The screen supports all of them, allows them to exist, but is never affected by the content of the movie. When the movie ends, the screen remains exactly as it was, pure, white, and pristine. You are that screen. The tragedies of your life, the heartbreaks, the failures, and even the great successes, they are all pictures moving across the screen of your awareness. They cannot actually touch you. They cannot diminish you. You are the space in which they happen. This creates a massive shift in perspective. Usually, we are drowned in the movie. We identify with the character on the screen. When the character gets hurt, we scream. When the character wins, we cheer. We have lost our distance. Vedanta asks us to step back. Realize you are not the character in the movie. You are the light that makes the movie possible. This doesn't mean you stop living your life. It doesn't mean you become a robot with no feelings. It means you gain a background of profound peace. You can play the role of the parent, the worker, the friend, but you know that deep down, you are the witness. This knowledge gives you a kind of armor against the ups and downs of life. The trap of objectification. Now, a warning. The mind is very tricky. As soon as you hear about this witness or this true self, the mind tries to imagine it. You might close your eyes and try to see your glowing soul. You might try to feel this pure awareness. But here is the paradox. You cannot see the seer. You cannot observe the observer. Think about it. Can your eyes look at themselves? No. They can look at a mirror. but that's a reflection. They can't see themselves directly because they are the ones doing the seeing. A flashlight can illuminate everything in a dark room, but the flashlight cannot shine its light on itself. It is the light. In the same way, you cannot make your true self into an object of knowledge. You cannot put it under a microscope. You cannot find it like you find a lost set of keys. Whenever you think you have found it, if you see a bright light in meditation or feel a sense of expansion, know that those are still just experiences. They are still objects. They are the seen. You are the one witnessing the bright light. You are the one witnessing the feeling of expansion. You always step back. You are the ultimate subject that can never become an object. This is why the path of Vedanta is often called the path of Neti, Neti. This is a Sanskrit phrase that means not this, not this. It is a process of negation. You look at the body and say, I am not this. You look at the mind and say, I am not this. You look at your ego and social status and say, I am not this. You keep peeling away the layers of the onion. And what remains when you have peeled away everything that can be perceived? Nothing? No. What remains is the peeler. What remains is pure existence, pure consciousness. It is not a thing, but it is not nothing. It is you, the real you, the limitations of duality. So far, we have established that you are the witness, separate from the body and mind. This is a huge step. It liberates you from the immediate suffering of the body and the turmoil of the thoughts. But if we stop here, we are still in a world of duality. Duality means two-ness. There is me, the witness, and that the world, body, mind. This state is called Sankhya. It is a state of separation. I am the spirit, and the world is matter. I am safe in my tower of awareness, watching the crazy world go by. This is peaceful, yes, but it is still not the ultimate truth. Why? Because it still leaves a sense of separation. If I am here and the world is there, then the world is still a stranger. The world can still threaten me. I am still small. Even if I am a witness, I am one consciousness, and you are another consciousness, and that tree is a separate object. The universe is fragmented. Advaita Vedanta dares to go one step further, a step that is radical and mind-bending. It asks, is the world really separate from you? Is the movie really separate from the screen? Or is there only one reality appearing as many? In the next part of the series, we are going to tackle the nature of reality itself. We are going to move from the subject to the object. We are going to ask, what is this world made of? Is it as solid as it looks? And we will discover the most shocking claim of Vedanta, that the observer and the observed are not actually two different things. The wave is not separate from the ocean. The gold ornament is not separate from the gold. And you are not separate from the universe. Let's recap what we have covered in this first part. The human condition. We are all driven by a sense of incompleteness, chasing temporary objects to find permanent happiness. This search is endless and futile if directed outward. The turn inward. The solution lies not in changing the world, but in understanding the nature of the one who is searching. Drigdrishiviveka. We use the logic of the seer and the seen. The observer is always distinct from the observed. Not body, not mind. Since we can observe our bodies and our thoughts, we cannot be them. They are changing objects. We are the changeless subject. The witness. We discovered our true identity as the witness consciousness, Sakshi, the screen on which the movie of life plays. The screen is unaffected by the movie. The trap. We realized we cannot turn the self into an object to be looked at. We are the light that illuminates everything else. We have stripped away the false identities. We have found the I, but we still have a universe out there. How do we reconcile this inner freedom with the outer world? That is the journey of Advait. Join me in the next video, where we will dismantle the illusion of the material world and introduce the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality, and Maya, the power that makes the one look like many. We are going to find out that the I you just discovered is much, much bigger than you think. See you in part 2.